Hi guys, good morning. Hopefully all is well with you. It's Kevin here, broadcasting live on Facebook. I love being on Facebook Live. I'm just looking at the screen here because if anybody comes on board here, I can actually see them. So let's see if I can just refresh the page here. I might be able to see it on the main screen. I'd like to be able to say hello and good morning to you all that are tuned in. Hopefully you enjoyed the video last night where we went through the power of the mind, the subconscious mind and the conscious mind, and we spend a bit of time on that. Today, we just want to have a quick chat to you about the current economy and what you can do and how you can protect yourself against the current economy with the inflation rate at the moment, just in Ireland alone, at just over 9%. And that's pretty substantial in relation to the downturn in the economy. It'll have an impact on everything that you do. We'll see gas prices going up. We'll see all kinds of stuff happening. Now, why did this happen? What's going on to create this environment that kind of suddenly all went crazy? Now, obviously, the big one that a lot of people will know about is the war in Ukraine. That had an impact, but there's other factors that were going on behind the scenes over the last couple of years that you may not be aware of, and that was obviously due to coronavirus. And what happened basically is that the banks printed a lot of money. Uh, the Federal Reserve and every other bank printed a whole lot of money to protect people in relation to the virus because they paid them while they were at home for 2 years. Now, a lot of the people that were at home, yes, they were shopping and they might have been shopping online, but they weren't doing the kind of shopping that the world is used to. So therefore, they had overprinted money, oversupplied it, and that caused what's known as inflation because it pushed up the price of things. And that was one major factor. Another major factor in relation to the inflation, and these are all kind of pretty scary stuff when you start to think about it, okay? Um, because it could set the whole country into recession. I'm not entirely sure, but if you look around the world, that is happening. So 9% inflation rate at the moment, it's pretty substantial. They overprinted money in the banks, and it was left there for people to do nothing with because people were in lockdown during the virus, etc. So that was one major factor. What else would have been a major factor? Would have been shipping, believe it or not, because you had the shipping channels. A lot of the products that we purchase around the world, you will see that. Hi, George, how you doing? Good to see you. You will see that on the back of the label of a lot of these products come from different countries around the world, Asian countries around the world, um, and you don't have to go too far where you see the word "made in China" on a particular product. So, what happened is the shipping channels around the world were basically blocked, okay, because we had the factories in China closing down during the coronavirus. That has created a huge backlog in relation to shipping channels. The shipping channels themselves have basically become what's known as kind of like a bit of a monopoly as well. So if you can imagine all those goods supplies that are normally demanded for over the Christmas period or the period of celebration where people celebrate, people would have been purchasing products for them, and they expect to be able to do the same thing this year. The only thing is that you got to remember is those factories have been shut for maybe 2 to 3 months, and still in China there's a lot of lockdowns going on. So that's going to put pressure on the cost of goods and services, and that causes, believe it or not, inflation because the shipping itself is owned by, say, three major companies. And I think it was the president of the United States had announced this, that he said basically what's happened is that you get three major companies operating the channels of distribution, and the increase of inflationary prices is up over 1,000%. So if you're looking at that, that's another major factor in relation to what's going on. So we really have had a crisis on our hands that has been bubbling underground because a lot of us were in lockdown. We all had to deal with the virus, and during that period of time, the banks were printing money, printing money, printing money, and people weren't spending the money as quickly as they should have been, and therefore that has added to inflation. Now that's just a couple of things that have happened, and then we've got the war in Ukraine as well, with supply issues and chain issues getting even the wheat out of the country, which is insane, you know. But these issues all have created a uncertainty within the marketplace and uncertainty to you and me and stuff like that. Now, the thing is that a lot of people might see this happening, but if there's a backlog or if there's a not enough supply and demand for products and services, that could actually, come to a stage where people will start to lose jobs and stuff like that because the demand isn't there. So we have to kind of look at different areas, look at different ways of doing things, and look at different opportunities that you can do in this current climate. So over the last couple of years, we were lucky enough to put together the Amazon business model. Now, would I say to people to start out and build something like the Amazon business model at the moment? And I would say, unless you are doing something like drop shipping, I would not recommend to do Amazon FBA. And the reason for that is because of the supply chain issues. A lot of people don't know that this, but even last Christmas and the Christmas prior to that, a lot of the goods that were bound for Amazon were on the shore of Amazon or in the ships in Amazon, sitting idle, not actually getting to Amazon's destination because they prioritized PPE for the virus and stuff like that. So a lot of the goods were sitting around doing nothing. Now, you don't want supply chain issues like that when you're dealing with a business, and you don't want something that you can't, it's out of your control. So there is a lot of that going on today. So it suggests to people, unless you're doing a drop shipping model, which is basically the company is taking all the brunt of the work and you're driving traffic to those people without the goods, without the inventory, without the stock. That's really, really what you want to be doing. Okay, so that's something that you want to consider doing. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, and just kind of giving you some ideas about what you can do. Now, Warren Buffett kind of sums it up fairly good in relation to this. He says, well, what is it that you can do for yourself? And the very first thing he talks about investing in yourself. Okay. Now, one of the richest men in the world, I don't think he is, I think Elon might be, but one of the richest men in the world is saying, invest in yourself. Well, what can you invest in? You can invest in your learning, you can invest in your education, you can upskill, you can get yourself better, in a better position, because then you become more valuable to the marketplace. And once you're more valuable to the marketplace, you will have the skills necessary to go on and to be sought after, whereas other people may be struggling a bit in relation to that. Okay. Um, so you can get better at your craft. Okay. So you want to be able to learn something new, do something new, invest in yourself is very, very important. Most people invest in holidays, invest in cars, they invest in lifestyle, and they invest in this. And then when it comes to investing in themselves, they question it almost like, hang on a second, I don't. Well, that's not their fault. It's because you've been given an education, work hard, go into a job, and you've been taught that principle pretty much all your life to go and do that. Nobody is coming into the schools and knocking on the doors and saying the best person that you can invest in is invest in your education, but invest in you when you leave this premises. Make sure that you invest into yourself so that you can grow as external from the education system. So behind me here, the sign says, formal education will make you a living, self-education will make you a fortune, okay? And profits are better than wages. Jim Rohn taught me that, okay? Who is Tony Robinson's mentor, which is amazing, okay? Um, and what you can do, okay, is that you can actually start to, look for people who are moving on and that can teach you skills necessary to get you where you want to go. So you can eliminate the fear by doing something else to give you a skill that's sought after, and that makes sense. There's a lot of people today are in programming. They're in programming because it's a sought after skill. So how can you do that then from the comfort of your own home? Can you build a business? Well, years ago, you used to have to go and purchase a premises, and then you would have to stock that premises. Then you'd have to have staff in that premises. You'd have to have inventory. You'd have to stock. You'd have to have insurance on the premises. You used to have a whole lot of things set up. Now today, with technology that we have, that you have, if you've got a phone in your hand, you can basically contact anybody, any part of the world, and you can literally do it from the comfort of your own home. Now, if I'm saying realistically, can you just do it on your phone? Probably not. You'd probably need a laptop or something like that. But your communication level is much greater. So I don't know where George is in the world. George, you can let us know where you're tuned in from. But we can literally cross boundaries that we couldn't do before. So when I had a traditional business, I was based here in Ireland. I was restricted to going internationally because it would have been a huge cost, a huge expense to get the message out there. So all these boundaries have been removed. I can remember using, we had a book called The Golden Pages where all businesses put their name in this book, and then it was delivered out to every household within the country. And if you wanted to look at that, you used to have to purchase, as a business owner, you used to have to purchase maybe a quarter of the page, half the page, full page. And it was thousands to do that. And those that dominated by the big ad were the ones that were supposed to do the most business. Not always worked out like that, but it certainly was one of the key factors back then. So today we should be really grateful for what we have, the tools, the technology, that kind of stuff. And all you got to do then is to get the idea of what you want to do. And I want to share with you today some ideas to help you understand that you can. Got this great book by Russell Brunson called Expert Secrets. It's a great book, and Russell has taught me an awful lot. So what I want to do is I want to share with you kind of like the three markets that you can set up a business with no inventory, no stock, everything like that. That you could. There's a lot of people out there with skills that they forget it that they can actually bring to the marketplace, which offers value, and you can set up a business then, and you can start to work it from the comfort of your own home using the technology that we have in front of us here. And there's three markets. Excuse me one second. I'm just going to take a little drop of water. Now, there's three markets that I learned from Russell. Okay, and he's talking about where is the money developed on the internet? How can you do this from the comfort of your own home without having all the inventory, stock, staff, all that kind of headaches that go with traditional business? Well, basically, there's three main areas of wealth within the internet marketing space. Okay, and very first one that's kind of out there is actually wealth. So a lot of people right now, with everything going on within the economy, there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of people are getting a bit. I don't know what to do. I don't know whether my job is going to be secure. All this kind of thinking is starting to set in with people. It's kind of just bubbling. Okay, and the very first area of making profit online actually is wealth. Okay, is that market of the wealth area, which hi Bob, how you doing? Good to see you. Um, so with the inflation at 9% here in Ireland, 9.7 I think it was this morning, it could set to rise even further than that. What you need to do is, as Warren Buffett has said, is that you need to, upskill, and that involves change sometimes, and therefore you can learn a new skill that offers value to the actual marketplace. But we don't need to be going the traditional route of business where we have inventory, stock, overheads. And we did the Amazon business. We still doing good in it. But we start now today with all those shipping channels problems, with all the inventory trying to get to move, the factories to move. It, I would say, you'd be better off without a product, without anything physical, and you could be out there. And this is what Russell talks about in these areas. So you can take a skill set that you already have, and you can actually become an expert in that area and teach and train people how to do it online and make an income for yourself. And that's what Warren Buffett talks about. So the three main areas of where the money is in the marketplace online fall into about three categories. They fall into the wealth category. Now, today, as I said, the economy is moving in uncertain times, and people are now seeking back that opportunity where they're saying to themselves, excuse me, Maybe my job isn't secure as I thought it was. Inflation is going up through the roof. Maybe I'm not starting to have a good lifestyle as I used to have. I have to cut back on gas, electricity, fuel bill is going through the roof. Uh, all these kind of stuff that people, we, when you have a decent enough job, you don't even think about. Well, all this is hitting through now with people, and they're beginning to look for a way to generate wealth. So you're in a very good position if you decide on the internet that you want to go into that kind of area. Now, wealth could be broken down into investing, financing. It could be down into real estate. It could be down into sales. It could be down into all these different areas of helping people, in these areas. Okay. So wealth could be that. Now, I'm not going to talk about any coin or anything like that. It's just something that I'm not into. I've never been into it. But real estate, when the market is down and that falls, that's the best time to buy. Okay. Not at the top of the market. Investing, if you want to invest, you can invest. People might want to learn about stocks. That's maybe something that you can do. You can teach them about that. Finances. Maybe you're an accountant and you want to be able to teach people about finances and the best ways to do taxes. There's lots of great avenues that you could teach people to do. Real estate, how to get the best property, ROI for your return, how to get 10% return on property. If you knew that, you could teach people how to do that. Sales is obviously a big one. It's always there. Without the sales, the whole machine doesn't work. So that's a big area. And there's a couple of other areas as well that you can deal with, which is health. Health is very big in the marketplace. Okay. And I've had some challenges over the last 3 years. Yeah, back operation, neck operation. Look, there's been challenges there. Okay. So the health market is when I was looking up online how to fix my back and all this kind of stuff, had to go under the knife, had to do an operation. It was very successful, but when that hits, the health market is always there. People want to lose weight, they want to be able to look good. Oh, see that, just slightly moved. That's cool. Um, so diet, nutrition is an area of maybe the health. You have uh, weight loss in particular is a big marketplace. It's absolutely massive. It's a huge marketplace. Who doesn't want to lose some weight at some stage? Okay, we all want to lose a bit of weight. We've maybe sitting around for the last 2 years during the lockdown period. God, I can remember that, not being able to go so far. It's just staggering, isn't it, to realize. Okay, and then you have the relationship area, which is everything to do with the law of the dating advice, marriage advice, uh, um, all this kind of area. So you have three core markets that are really, really, where the money is: the wealth, the health, and the relationships. And if you can tap into those resources and learn how to position yourself then as an expert in those areas, this is going to be something that you can do. You can do. This is a great book, by the way, that I'm reading by Russell Brunson called Expert Secrets. Russell is coming on board, and he's going to be doing some training as well uh, with Tony Robinson. Okay, it's out there. I've said it. Okay, Tony Robinson. It's coming soon. And Dean as well. And there's lots of other good people as well that are going to be in there. Rachel Miller, who's phenomenal on Facebook. She's going to be teaching skills and strategies to do that. So there's a challenge coming up. So if you're up for the challenge, let us know. It's going to be free for you to attend, and you can actually go through some great advice and information. Okay, so this is why there's a shift in this area. This is why you can work from home. I'm working from home today. You know, I don't have a big fancy office. I don't have a flashy premises. I don't need that. All I need is the internet connection. I need to be able to get access to social media just to let people know about what we're doing. We do some advertising in relation to doing that, and you're up and running in business. So you are ahead of the curve in relation to doing that. But when I started out, I had to learn the skills, and I sought out some very good teachers and mentors to do that. And if you want the opportunity to tap into that resource as well, I'm just bringing it up here on the screen. So sorry about this. I'm looking at it here. Okay, there's going to be, we're going to do a challenge. Tony's going to do a challenge. He's going to do it with Bernard Brashaw. He's an internet marketer. Rachel Miller, who's an expert in relation to Facebook marketing. You've got from ClickFunnels, you've got Russell Brunson, you've got Dean Gazzosi. I think that's how I have to learn how to say Dean's second name. Will kill me. Tony Robson, and some great other speakers all in this challenge. Okay, if you want to be part of that challenge, by the way, just let us know. I'll send you the direct link to it. You can get access to it. It's time to try it. It's happening between the 2nd and the 6th of August. But if you want to get early access to it, you're welcome to do that. Okay. But it is an incredible challenge, and it's something that you can do as well. And also, I've been being just on Audible as well, learning from another incredible speaker, Alex Homowski, or something like is his second name, Hormozi. Don't know how to pronounce his second name. He has an incredible story where he set up in business and he nearly lost everything, and then he came back and he's made millions in relation to doing that. So this is a great challenge. It's something that you could easily do from the comfort of your own home. As I said, you don't have to travel, you don't have to go abroad the way they used to do before. You used to have to travel, had to get in an airplane, had to travel, had to get accommodation, had to get food, everything included in that before you actually got to the event. And when you got to the event, you queued for the event, you got into the event. Some great events that I went to, Bob, you understand that. Okay. I got to meet some amazing people in that process. But this time you don't have to leave the comfort, you can do it from the comfort of your own home. And it's going to be an amazing event. So Warren Buffett is encouraging people to have a business where they have no inventory, no stock, no overheads, can work from home, and you can do it to beat the inflation that's going on right now. And these guys, I've been studying for quite some time. Russell, I know. Bernard, I know. Rachel Miller, I know. Alex, I know from his book. And Dean and Tony Robson and two other amazing people, or three other amazing people that are, new to me, but I know exactly their OQP. There just kind of broke down the transmission there. But it's happening from the 2nd to the 6th. Registration, you can register for free now. And it's just going to be an incredible event. I have access to some of the material already, and I can tell you what, it's mind blowing. Okay, so if you're looking for that shift in relation to where you are, your job, your career, you're looking for something new, you're looking for a challenge in relation to driving forward, there's no better thing than to have a team of people around you that understand what you're doing, to give you the support that you need to do to make it happen. So I highly recommend this challenge to jump on board. And if you want to do it with me, we can do it together, because I think it's great if you have a team working together on something that it offers extra value. So I'm opening that to people who I've been associated with, where you can come on board together and we can do the challenge together and go through the whole thing together. So it sounds like an exciting thing. Be there, make sure that you ask me for the link. I'll send it directly to you. And with that said, have a great weekend. It's Friday. Have a great weekend, and I will talk to you again any soon. If you have any questions in relation to it, just drop us a message on Facebook. Be glad to answer any question that you may have. In the meantime, have a great day. Stay safe, stay well, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye for now.